So today my topic is Break the Bias, Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. So is there a question? Yes, there is a question, especially in South Asia, Middle East and Africa. So what does the World Economic Forum Gender Gap Report 2017 says? It mentions that the female talent remains one of the most underutilized human resources, business resources. Without gender equality today, a sustainable future and an equal future remains beyond our reach. So the Gender Gap Report 2021 World Economic Forum says that the gap is 67.7% based on population weighted average from 156 countries. Remaining gap to close is 32.3%. This is a step back compared to 2020 by 0.6 percentage points, and this is attributed in decline of large countries. On its current trajectory, it will take 135.6 years to close gender gap worldwide. So what are the key areas? The four key areas of gender gap are: first, political participation; second, economic participation; third, educational attainment; and the fourth is health and survival. So first, political participation. This is the area of maximum gender gap. 22% is only closed till date globally. Women represent only 26.1% of 35,000 parliament seats and just 22.6% of over 3,400 ministers worldwide. In 81 countries, there has never been a woman leader, head of the state. At the current rate of progress, it will take 145.5 years to attain gender equality in politics. So now, the second area of largest gap is economic participation. So the current closure rate is 58%. There is an increased proportion of women among skilled professionals and wage equality, but the women in leadership positions are less. They are qualified, but of all the managerial posts, the women occupy only 22%. Now the last two areas, educational attainment and the health and survival. Here the gap is nearly closed. The 95% gender gap has been closed globally for educational attainment, and on current trajectory, it will take another 14.2 years to completely close this gap. And for health and survival, 96% of the closure rate. So COVID-19 impact on the existing gender gap has further widened the gap. There is a marked decline of women's hiring into the leadership role. 5% of the all employed women lost their job during COVID compared to 3.9% of the employed men. The industries with higher women participation such as consumer sector, non-profits, media and communication suffered more damage. School closures, limited availability of the care service causing stress, job insecurity and impaired work-life balance among women with children happened during this time. So if you see the geographical distribution, there is a significant disparity exists across various regions. The Western Europe and the North America closure rate is highest, and the South Asia, Middle East, North Africa, the closure rate is lowest. So there are countries where the gender gap has closed. So these are the Iceland, Finland, Norway, New Zealand, Sweden and all these areas which is shown in the picture. So Western Europe and North America are performing the best and the South Asia is performing the worst. In South Asia, if you see, the worst performing area globally is South Asia, and economic participation and opportunity sub-index is 33.8%, and Nepal is 63%, Bangladesh 41.8%, India in between 32.6%, Pakistan 31.6%, and Afghanistan 18%. So in Indian subcontinent component, the women population is 0.65 billion and gender gap closure rate is 62.5%, and widening of this gap is noted compared to the rates noted a year ago. So India ranking on a global scale is 140. What are the causes of decline in performance of South Asian region? The current women's labor force participation rate is 51% of the male labor force participation, and the lack of progress on women labor force participation hinders the economic opportunities for women throughout the region. So again, India is 22.3%. Share of participation at work across India from 2014 to 2022, it is almost the same in 22. The male participation has gone up and female participation has gone little less. Women in professional and technical role, India 29.2%, Pakistan 25.3%, Afghanistan 19.3%. Women in senior position, India 14.6%, Bangladesh 10.7%, Pakistan 4.9%, Afghanistan 4.1%. India has less than 20.7% of an average man, the average income. The political participation of women, 21% gender gap closure rate, India 9.1%, there is a decline from 23.1% in the area of political participation. The educational attainment, 93.3% gender gap is closed. So education and this health, these two areas, the gender gap is closed. So India is 65.8%. Health and survival 94.2%. So what are the social practices and belief impacting it? The main, the UNFPA State of World Population Report 2020 was themed as Against My Will, define the practices that harm women and girls and undermine equality. The main reason identified for missing females, there are 4.6 crore females missing in India due to son preference. This is the report of UNFPA. The main reason identified for missing females is preference for a son and underlying gender inequality, easy access to technology and global trend towards a smaller family size. India accounts for almost 1/3, 32.1% of the total 142.6 million missing female in the world. The second highest contributor after China is India. China is the maximum contributor, 50.7% of all missing female in the world. So this is the proportion of marriage with the dowry, and this is the dowry debt, and you can see nothing has changed till 2019, and actually there are more debt, and actually it is underreported. This area is underreported. What the consequence of social beliefs and practice is violence, sex-selective abortions, and female infanticide. So is there a question? Yes, the question is there in South Asia, the Middle East, and the Africa. So how you will break the bias? Imagine a gender equal world, a world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination, a world that is diverse, equitable, and inclusive, a world where difference is valued and celebrated. Together we can forge women's equality and break the bias. There are some existing acts. We should know PCPNDT in 1994, prenatal sex screening and female feticide is banned. Female Infanticide Act 1970, Dowry Prohibition Act 1961, ban on ultrasound test in 1996. So there are government schemes. They educate the girl child. These are the schemes you can see for educating the girl child and ensuring access to education for young girl is an essential precondition to equip future generation of women with the tools to be included in all levels of society at the same level as men. So UN and Women, Asia and Pacific is working on generation equality in Asia and Pacific, and the slogan is Orange the World. End the violence against women now. So there are women leaders, women in police forces. You know Kiran Bedi, first woman in India to join the officer rank of the Indian Police Services, was awarded the Magsaysay Award for her work on reformation of prisons. There are women in finances, C.A. Rachna Bajke, Indian creator who helps people become financially illiterate, teaches people basics of a stock, annual income 3.3 crore. The women entrepreneurs are there. Namita Thapar, Executive Director of the EVECON Pharmaceutical, net worth 600 crores. Vinita Singh, CEO or co-founder of Sugar Cosmetics, net worth $8 million. Gajal Alan, CEO and co-founder of Mama Network, $20 million. There are women in sports. Mithali Raj, the highest score in the women international cricket. PV Sandhu, first woman from the country to win a silver medal at the Summer Olympics. Sania Mirza, of course, is the only female tennis player from India to win 6 major titles. There are women in medicine. Dr. Kadamni Gamli, India's first female doctor who made Calcutta Medical College start admitting women. Before that, they were not admitting women. A symbol of women liberation. Dr. Anandibai Joshi, first female Indian physician and the first Indian woman to have gained a degree in Western medicine. Marie Curie, the first woman to receive 2 Nobel Prizes. And there are women leaders. They have overcome all the barriers of gender inequality, political issues and racial differences, have left no stone unturned in attempting to participate equally as their male counterparts. Although the number is less in medicine, in politics, in business, but the impact has been strong and significant. So, in the last, empowering women is a prerequisite for creating a good nation. When women are empowered, society with stability is assured. Empowerment of women is essential as their value system leads to the development of a good family, society, and ultimately a good nation. Thank you for the patient hearing.
That was the beautiful